I started this business on $50 a month. It was me, ChatGPT, and a Wix website, and my laptop, and what's in my brain. So, you know what AI did is it did two really important things that I think are fueling what you guys are talking about. Welcome to Revenue Remix, where I bring in experts to discuss current trends or challenges and give you the insights that you need to grow. I'm Summer Poletti, your host and moderator and founder of Rise of Us, where I help founders and CEOs avoid wasting money, momentum, and reputation on growth strategies that fall flat. And today I have with me Antonio and Quinn, who I met at TechCon SoCal. Hi,
Hey,
guys.
how's it going, y'all? Hey, guys.
Into their journey in a minute, but for you, the audience, these two are exactly the kind of scrappy, put it all out there, build in public founders that I want in your ears. So let me set the stage. TechCon as the origin story. I remember seeing you guys out there recording and hustling like right outside when the panels were coming out, and then caught up with you when I was finishing my interview with the AI chicks. Had a conversation. I let you record with them because they were going to kind of go low key on Saturday, and then I missed you guys.
Yeah.
So when I tell you that the magic of an event is in the follow up, like this is it right here. Because I, Antonio, I was chasing you. I was like, no, I want my
No, yeah,
interview
Summer,
with you
you have
guys.
that
Come
follow-up
on.
strategy down. I can tell you've been experienced.
Nobody, once I have somebody in my crosshairs, like my rule just for selling, because us as founders, we're all salespeople, unless you tell me to go away or unsubscribe, I'm on you.
I love it. Hey, that's the
Yeah.
type of grind set we love.
Nice. Okay, so let's see. So we're both early stage. This is my second career. This is you all's first career. But when the budget isn't money's raining from the sky yet, you kind of
Yes.
have to decide. Like it's basically, is it within driving distance or is it virtual? And I have a zone where I'm willing to drive if it seems like it's worth these gas prices today, right? And an entire day to get to and from. So I know where I sit. Where do you all sit? Like, what's the magic of driving? What is it? Was probably 7 hours for you
Yeah,
folks? What made
about
it worth
six
the
to
drive
six
instead of like
hours.
attending virtually?
Yeah, well, of course, I think the biggest thing for us was like we wanted to be in person to meet these entrepreneurs at TechCon. We didn't want to just kind of see that virtual experience, so we had to take the drive over, right? And it is the coolest thing is that I don't know how cool it is, but when you're driving to California, you can literally see the gas prices just go up,
Mhm.
tick up, like each gas
Yeah.
station you go. And then once you hit San Diego, it's like at its peak. It's crazy, but yeah, I think that was definitely a worthwhile trip because it was planned months in ahead. Trip was not just for TechCon; it was actually just to meet up with members of our community as well that we built on the internet. And so it was like a two birds with one stone type of situation. It was amazing. We got to meet a lot of entrepreneurs just like you, Summer, and a lot of connections as well. So we're very excited about it. We have so much video and content from that entire trip, and then we've just been posting it pretty much every single day on our channel. So
Yeah. And I think a big thing is like, we are, like you said, we do not have all the money in the world to go traveling to all these different events and conventions. But more so, at least I can't speak for everyone else, at least in my mind, it was more of an idea of value because we had one of our members who flew out from Michigan, actually. So he didn't just take the 6 hour drive. Well, he actually did. He flew out to Arizona to meet with us, and then he took the 6 hour drive with us all the way out to San Diego. So it really was one of those things where it's like, it is a little tough when you don't have a lot of money coming in at first to kind of make these things happen. But it is really about the intrinsic value of all these, to getting to meet everyone, meeting the entrepreneurs, even just having fun, a fun little adventure out to San Diego. That 6 hour drive isn't too bad. And for a event like TechCon, it was, at least in my mind, I felt like it was well worth it.
I think it was so perfect that Arizona is just like in the middle of all these big states. Like we got Las Vegas, we got California, and Texas all around us. We can just take a drive anytime we want to like all these big conventions, which we're very grateful for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. And I wanna talk about that a little bit. But what I wanna pull out as a little nugget of genius from you folks is that TechCon didn't just have one job. It wasn't just an event to meet people. You already had community members who you knew you were going. So it is find new folks, but also deepen relationships with the folks you already know. Beautiful. I love it. Hey, when when you're stretching your dollars, I'm a big fan of nothing ever has just one job.
You got
Yeah.
yeah, 100%, especially, like, early stage entrepreneurs. We've seen entrepreneurs stretch their dollars to the wildest extents that we never thought about before, so we have to do the same thing, right?
Yep.
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
totally. And you know what? Even when you get funded, I think it's Kevin O'Leary says that you should treat each check like it's the only one you're ever going to get. So even if you get a big check because you're raising pre-seed or Series A or whatever, it still doesn't grow on a tree. If you burn through your cash, those investors are not going to come back when you raise again your next round, right? Always have to be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So then I want to talk about the Arizona tech scene because that was something that piqued my ear. Okay, selfishly, my sister lives in the Sedona area, so then Phoenix is always within striking distance. You described driving to San Diego. I drove to Sedona on Sunday after TechCon and
Wow.
saw the reverse of those gas prices. Like
Yes.
we
Yeah,
waited
it just goes
until
down as you go.
quartzsite to yeah. We were like running low, coming near state line, and we're like, let's just get to quartzsite.
Mm.
Just gotta power through. Just gotta power
Yeah,
through the
you
gas
you have
station.
to power through. You're running on fumes. Like, I do not want to pay California prices again. Just let me get into Arizona. I love it. So then talk to me a little bit about, the tech scene in Arizona. I'm watching it because it looks exciting. It looks like a little baby right
100%.
now.
There's a lot
It's
of big
exciting.
things happening. There's a lot of big, exciting things happening in Arizona, mainly because it's like there's so many entrepreneurs that are flowing into the state. I mean, of course, that also makes house prices rise and things like that rise. But at the same time, though, with all the companies, especially the semiconductor chip manufacturing from Taiwan, is just boosting the economy even more. And we've had a lot of investors, especially in Scottsdale, investing in like a lot of properties, projects. It's very exciting. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and it's one thing because a lot of big tech, they like to station their data centers out in Arizona. Funny enough, I never really thought of Arizona as a very like in terms of weather is very like mild, but in terms of like housing data centers and whatnot, I it's one thing that I found out is the big reason why a lot of Arizona there's a lot of Arizona based data centers is because there isn't really turbulent weather in Arizona. It's only extreme heat that they have to deal with. Everything else, like we don't have earthquakes, all knock on wood, of course. But yeah, we don't have like earthquakes, tornadoes, or any really, really turbulent weather. And we have a huge amount of real estate all over the city, whether it's in the metropolitan area or just on the outskirts of it, to where a lot of big tech really has a big reason to come out here because our market, we're one of the biggest cities in the US. So that helps. Well, I think we're at this point we're number 10. We did drop a little bit, but I think we're the 10th biggest metropolitan city in the US. So there's a huge job market. All big tech is coming here. I think TSMC just came out here as well. So a lot of huge tech opportunities are coming out here and the real estate opportunities. I'm in the real estate industry, so I follow it really closely. So it's something that I think it's going to scale up. It's at the beginning phases, like you said. It's a little bit. It's in its baby, the first couple of steps, but it only has an opportunity to grow.
I truly like to think of Arizona as like a blank canvas, like a blank desert, basically. And it's like your roadmap. You can paint it how much you want, however you want. And I feel like there's a lot of possibilities, especially in this environment. A lot of actually people have been changing the environment of Arizona a lot. If you came here 50 years ago, you would have seen more desert. Now it's like we've been populating with trees everywhere. They're terraforming the entire place, basically. That's kind of like the blank canvas that everyone's been working on. And so that's going to include tech as well. Tech is going to realize like the weather's so consistent here. I think this is one of the best places to build, especially those data centers, those tech operations that people have been wanting to build for so long.
Well, there are no natural disasters. It's just hot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
just
very
off.
hot. You
That's the
gotta
one
survive
thing.
3 months out of the year, and then you're pretty good.
You talked about going from the desert into building. I think one of the things, this is totally off topic, but I think it's one of the things that Arizona learned is that the more you pave, the hotter it gets. And so when was it that you got a chief heat officer in Phoenix to do better urban planning to control the temperature? And they're talking about like you have to have shade trees and things like that, that like in the 60s when it's being built out, I guess like people didn't think about that. They just paved everything, made the
See,
heat
I did
worse.
not
So
even know we had a
yeah.
chief heat officer. That is a new title I've never heard of. But I mean, makes sense. We would be
I
very
heard
place
about it
for
on
it.
a podcast.
But that makes sense. You know,
I think one really cool technology that's coming out right now that I think they tried out in Dubai are those drones who have been manipulating the weather of the surrounding area by putting like water in the air. I think that's a type of technology, like, of course, that's very futuristic and everything, but I definitely think there's a possibility of that being tested in Arizona because have already been terraforming the desert like crazy. I can definitely see bringing that technology over and seeing how that can affect the weather here as well. The possibilities is a lot.
yeah,
So,
it's endless.
Nice. So clearly there's going to be some climate tech coming out of there. Is there any specific tech sector that you guys have your eyeballs on?
Well, I think right now the biggest thing is data. Data centers, like the biggest thing, like the entire country's on right
Yeah,
now.
makes
Of
sense.
course,
Okay.
there's a climate effect to that, and there's a lot of big changes to our climate because of the data centers. But people are realizing, a lot of companies are realizing that we have a lot of space and we have such consistent weather here that the data centers work. I think the only problem is that the weather is very hot.
Yeah,
The data centers, I don't know how good it would be here because
yeah,
of the heat, because they need really good cooling systems. That's an
yeah,
opportunity for
Mm,
that. The biggest opportunity in Arizona definitely is the real estate to build infrastructure and the buildings for projects and big solar panel energy systems. I think that's the biggest thing I'm betting on,
yes.
energy
yeah,
usage in Arizona. That's what I'm
yeah,
looking at right now.
Like
yeah. Because that's the one big
I like
constraint for
that. Well,
data
that
centers.
fuels the data centers.
Exactly. That
Yeah,
fuels the
it
data centers.
does. Because yeah, one of the biggest constraints for a lot of the data centers is the water production. That's the one thing everyone's chopping list is like, oh, they're using so much water to fuel these data centers for the cooling systems. I know they're having that issue, I think, out in Utah right now because they're trying to position data centers around Salt Lake. So a lot of people are protesting against it, at least in Utah. But in Arizona, that I feel like that may be one of the bigger constraints for them just completely going all into the data centers here in Arizona because obviously we're a desert. That might be a little bit tough. So I think energy is actually one of the biggest ones that I could definitely foresee Arizona jumping headfirst into, especially because that works with the fact that we don't have a lot of turbulent weather. Whether that's like I could see potentially nuclear energy plays coming into fruition, or even just like the solar and whatnot, because there's so much the Phoenix, Arizona, like Phoenix area has so much to be desired, and there's so much real estate out here that something huge is coming.
Yeah. When it comes to betting on
Yeah.
anything,
Well,
a couple of years ago, they bet on AI and then they bet on the infrastructure behind AI, which is the chips. Now I think people are going to lean towards betting on the energy because people are realizing that's a resource that AI needs to operate, and we don't even have enough of it, which is crazy.
and maybe Phoenix can tackle the water challenge because that's one of the main reasons why people are anti AI. But Arizona has been very careful about water usage in their urban planning. Like, honestly, Arizona's better than California is, like, and certainly better than Utah is. Like, they'll put a golf course all over the place. And I know that especially in real estate in Arizona, like, they're very specific about how many plants you can have, and they have to be native, and it has to be drought tolerant. And no, we don't want that golf course. So maybe Arizona will figure out the AI versus water thing.
Yes, no, yeah. And that's honestly something I want to kind of ask you, Summer, if I don't mind, if you don't mind, me bouncing off questions to
Hey,
you.
get it.
Yeah. Yes, but I mean, I imagine you do a lot of podcasts with people. Like, do you still find that a lot of the people you put on podcasts are very averse to AI? Because I meet people all the time. It's a very, very, like, I guess, extreme topic for a lot of people. It's either you love AI or you hate AI. It's like there's not really a middle ground for the most part because if you use AI even a little bit, you're pretty pro AI at that point. But for the people who don't use it at all, they have some of the strongest opinions out there, and they're like, I will not use AI. I'm not going to use ChatGPT. Da 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 da. So do you still find people like in this day and age who are very against it?
Interesting. So I'm gonna take it, and that's a really good, thoughtful question. Thank you. And I think it's a perfect pin for the one I want to ask you guys. 2 years ago, when I launched my practice, yes, I was all in on AI because it helped me in my last business. When I decided to close that one and start this one, the only reason why I knew I could do it is because I had some AI tools and I was like, well, I don't need a big budget, like just me and my brain and Chatty G, like we got this. Uh, and in early 2024, even on LinkedIn, Silicon Valley liked its AI and no one else did. And convincing even my clients to do an AI project with me was a huge no. And it's super weird because I'm going to break it down by like social media channel because that's where people go hang out. If I'm on LinkedIn, it's AI hype all day long. And I have to question myself, okay, how much of this is hype and how much of this is reality? But then if I'm goofing off and I'm watching cat videos on Instagram, like all moms do, it's a very different vibe there. And
Yeah.
I don't know if it's generational or if it's work or what, but to bring it back to your question for my podcast, I'm heavily B2B and I work with founders and CEOs and senior leaders. And I don't find an anti AI person anymore, but like I live on LinkedIn. So I think
Yeah.
it's a self selecting group, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, pretty much everyone
So
on
then
LinkedIn
you
is like
guys
investing
live
in
on
AI.
Instagram. You know what? I'll lead into it with this. When I see anti AI on like Instagram or threads, it's usually a young person complaining because we're ruining the world that you all have to inherit. By the way, I'm sorry. But like sometimes it's when they see something they don't like and they're going to use AI as a convenient excuse to call BS on it. Like, oh, that's fake. It looks AI.
Yeah.
But like you guys live on Instagram more than I do with your community. So what do you see?
Yeah, of course. Well, change in general is scary. I feel like for any generation out there, especially for our generation, where we're seeing it live action, live time, where things are changing from one year to the next year instantly. When AI came out in 2020, 2022, it was insane. People were freaking out. People were using it, adopting it, and people were also like targeting it as a, like hating on it basically at the same time. And then I think Instagram and other social medias like TikTok and even YouTube is actually a perfect place to kind of see where I guess the entire world's opinions are on AI and kind of like, I guess, our generation at least, because that's kind of the majority of people on Instagram, right? What we see, I guess, on our channel and I guess comments throughout other videos that people have been using kind of like the AI as kind of more of like a meme to attack things that they don't like. I think it's more of a funny thing. It's like half funny, half serious, because at the same time, a lot of people who are in businesses and work that involves art, like media, music, and pretty much like any pretty much drawing or painting type of artwork career. They're basically they're very against AI because it's basically scaring them into the workforce, right? And then they have to shift their entire mindset of how they're going to approach the rest of their career moving forward. So it's scary. It really is scary. But I think it definitely is something that people have to understand that it's going to be the future and they have to adapt to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect segue, by the way. So I wanted to talk about that generational divide. So I'm gonna set the stage again. In the panel that I was moderating, it was sometimes panels try to do a lot, right? Especially at a big event like TechCon. It was how we're rethinking growth, visibility, and talent in an AI world. And since there were mostly founders in there, they're thinking about discoverability, visibility, growth. And a student in the audience asked a question about the future of the workforce. Hey, all these jobs are being AI'd. My friends are not seeing job opportunities when they graduate. Like, what is the talent strategy moving forward? And I saw her face and she talked to me afterwards. Like, she was not happy with the response. She said they basically were like, oh, it's fine, just network, you'll get a job. And she was like, but they're pretending there's jobs. So I wanted to ask you guys about something I'm seeing, but then I wonder if I'm seeing what I want to. I'm seeing a lot of young entrepreneurs, people going straight into entrepreneurship from college, or sometimes, like I know someone, it was Josh Harris, who I introduced you to. He skipped college to just go straight into entrepreneurship because that's what he knew he wanted to do. From where you sit, are you seeing a lot of young entrepreneurs, or am I just seeing that, hoping that that's the future that young people choose to pave for themselves in this scary world? Like, is that
We
real?
kind of
Like, are
live
a
in our
lot of young
own little
entrepreneurs out there?
there is a lot of young entrepreneurs out there. Maybe we were living in our own echo chamber, but at the same time, we're pretty much that example of we graduated college, we were deciding between corporate and entrepreneurship, and we just saw a larger and much more potential in the world of entrepreneurship, especially in this stage. I think we're living in the perfect time in humanity where we have the tools to create anything we want and build businesses and infrastructure and technology the way we wanted to without it being too oversaturated yet. Because I definitely believe that there's going to be a
Mm.
point in history where there's going to be an oversaturation of AI businesses, either digital or even in person or whatever, that things are going to change. It's going to be much more tougher to enter the market and compete. So this is like kind of like that sweet spot right now that you have to take advantage of. And that's what me and Quinn are off to do, basically.
Yeah, no,
Clever.
absolutely.
It's an advantage
And
until it's not.
Exactly.
yeah,
So tell me a little bit about the community that you guys are building, because I think it's kind of built around this is our moment to seize. So you told me about it already. For the benefit of the audience at home, what are you guys building and why does it matter right now?
yeah. No, so that is a perfect thing because that's literally what I was about to say. But we are building a community based around telling the raw truth of entrepreneurship for a lot of people who are in this beginning stage of being founders.
Are you still in every big deal because you can't afford to lose them, or every large client because they have your phone number and they know that if they call you, they can get what they want? Are you the best closer, or does nobody else really actually know how to do it? There's a lot of nuance there. Some of it's a hiring problem, some of it's a system problem. And if you can't really tell the difference, that's probably why the last salesperson didn't work out. DM me on LinkedIn if you want to actually get out of sales finally.
Mantra of our community with the 100 and everything is the idea that if we could bring can we bring 100 broke entrepreneurs in the beginning stage entrepreneurs to have a combined net worth higher than Elon Musk. And it's kind of centered around the idea that, especially as entrepreneurs, it is a very isolating endeavor sometimes, especially in the day and age where there's a lot of solopreneurs out there. We were talking about AI earlier, and with AI being able to integrate itself and take over the roles of a lot of people on these like teams, especially these entrepreneurial ventures, there's a lot of solopreneurs. And that's kind of the spot that me and Antonio kind of found ourselves in. And the cool thing about it though was we found in Arizona, at least like organically, we found a little bit of a microcosm of people who were kind of chasing those endeavors alongside of us. Some of our really good friends out here were chasing either their entrepreneurial ventures, or they're in like one of our good friends who is in the community. He's doing he's doing music. And another one, he has a hydration brand that he's starting from Arizona that's completely bootstrapped. So it's something to where in our little microcosm here, we found that and we want to test ideas. Hey, if we could find it in our little community around here, there's gotta be hundreds and thousands and tens of thousands of people out there doing the same things that we're doing. If we could bring them together and have that shared knowledge network and everything, we could be better and we could grow and scale this greater than we even imagined.
I think that video also showed us the biggest demand for a community for entrepreneurs, especially early entrepreneurs, because I think the career of entrepreneurship is just going to grow rapidly, exponentially as time goes by. And as people realizing that there's other options out there, especially with the tools that are given to them at this point, and especially at the stage of where the job market is, where they have a choice to create their own business now. I think that's going to be the biggest career that's moving forward in the next 10 years, 100%. So we're very excited. We accidentally basically fell into this demand, and we're going to be going straight into it. Basically, our market is entrepreneurs and building community, and that's exactly what Quant is all about. So
And yes, to answer your question earlier, there are absolute ton of entrepreneurs in this younger generation. Everyone wants to be entrepreneurs these days. I don't know what it is about it. It's a mix of the AI and having a bit like social media out there. It's just conjuring up. It's a perfect storm, I think. At least at the point of like AI, at the point of social media where we are in this day and age, with a lot of entrepreneurs sharing their stories who are out there trying to motivate the next generation. I think just everything came together at the right time, and we're at the beginning stages of it all to see everybody. They're slowly transitioning to the mindset of, you know what, I'm going to start that business. I'm going to do that thing. I have the ability, I have the tools, I have everything that I need to get started, and I could literally start it on a laptop and a phone and
yeah,
we're good to go.
You're absolutely right. Social media showed this next generation that it's possible to achieve your wildest dreams. And then now AI is giving you the tools to do so. So it's kind of like a perfect storm, like you said. It's amazing.
I love it. I started this business on $50 a month. It was me, ChatGPT, and a Wix website, and my laptop, and what's in my brain. So, you know what AI did is it did two really important things that I think are fueling what you guys are talking about. First of all, there is a lack of trust in corporate because of all the we're slashing headcount, all of this. Like, you can't trust, like, I'm going to go work somewhere. I'm going to be rewarded for my hard work. I'm going to build my 401k. Like, that's gone. So what replaced it was the barrier to entry is really low right now. If you're smart and hardworking and you've got $20 for the pro subscription, you're good.
There we go.
Yeah.
I love it. That makes me feel a little
I'm
better
curious, Summer, what do you
about
think is oh yeah, what do you think is your hypothesis of what's going to happen in I guess the whole job market scene in the next 10 years? Because you talk to all these entrepreneurs
so
and these higher career.
yeah. I see two types of companies. One type of company leverages technology to do more. Like, we can automate the manual work and just get more productivity. We want to do more. Those are the people I love to work with. And then there's the other ones that are just looking at this year's bottom line and they're like, let me slash to make this year look good and give the stakeholders more dividends or whatever. I don't like that. That's not fun. I think what's going to happen is it's going to get really messy before we figure this out. This is our industrial revolution, and I think we'll settle on something that works good for society, but the next 10 years are going to be messy. And what I see happening is you have to have an expert in charge of the AI strategy, feeding it, setting it up, the intel in, because it can't invent stuff. It can systemize, it can recognize patterns, but you need that expert human in charge, right? And then on the back end, you need the expert human to review and put in the kill switch and make sure it's not wrong, all that good stuff. But where I see the gap is entry level roles are disappearing. So that expert human who's a C level or a director level or a VP level expert strategist, in 10 years, where are they? If they're not being hired as a junior analyst right now and being mentored by the people my age. So
Nepotism.
I think we're going to get to a point where we're like, oh shit, we forgot we need to train the next generation of experts. And then does it look like bringing people out of retirement to mentor the new people in 10 years? I don't know, but that's where I see a huge gap in where some organizations' AI strategy is they're not thinking about their long-term talent strategy.
No, I
Was
can
that too
definitely see
LinkedIn
that.
of an answer?
No, that's
No,
because we see a lot of the more entrepreneurial side of us. Like everyone's like has their own businesses, they're all building it up. It's good to see that corporate mind, like kind of perspective on potentially what that corporate world could look like in the near future. So
yeah.
so it's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. You know what, though? For the right type of person, this is fun.
Yeah.
You guys are out there building. You get to, the world's your oyster. You get to make of it what you will. And some people see, oh my God, no jobs. And some people see, well, this is my opportunity to just shoot my shot. So I like that. So you're looking for 100 people to shoot their shot, and you're at 56 the last time we chatted? Or where are we at now today?
We haven't opened up applications yet, but this week I think we're gonna line it up with the SpaceX IPO. So we're gonna be launching. Actually, have you heard about the SpaceX IPO this Friday?
Yes.
Yeah. So basically,
I
we
see
realized
you attacking your enemy. I got you.
every large video we've ever had kind of lined up perfectly with something happening with Elon Musk, and this is actually one of the biggest thing. There's a possibility that he becomes the first $1 trillion man, which is crazy. And so we're going to line it up with also recruiting our final 44 as well. So that's an exciting announcement. But yeah,
I love
that is
that.
insane.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think our goal, me and Quinn has been on this kind of like big entrepreneur journey since we've kind of dedicated ourselves to entrepreneurship right out of college. Because we actually had internships and we were going on this like corporate route pretty much all 4 years. And then like basically we decided to just go on in entrepreneurship all into entrepreneurship in our early 20s. And I think that was something we had basically a traverse this entire year, going through not chasing the gold, not chasing like the shiny objects. And especially when we had a viral video, we kind of built that audience, we built that community, and then we were trying to build different things at the same time. I think with the TechCon trip, we were able to talk to various members within our community and also very strong entrepreneurs that we respect within TechCon, that we kind of understood where we were at, our position within the community and within the space. And we got really excited on where we were going to push the future of the Quant community and how we're going to push like the community of entrepreneurship as well. We realize there's a big demand in community and entrepreneurship in the next year future, and we're not going to be the geniuses of the world kind of bring AI up. And so I think our place in it is kind of creating the events, creating the retreats, and then the big opportunities within the community, connecting entrepreneurs and investors together, just kind of like TechCon did. And that's why we got so excited about it. And we want to do our version of it for starting in Arizona and eventually reaching it out towards the rest of the country, basically. That's the
Love it. Love it. So that's what in-person can do that virtual can't.
if you can have a
Yes.
network of people building with you kind of on that same journey, that journey of entrepreneurship will be that much easier. And that's the goal that we're trying
It's
to create.
super hard. And no one knows what it's like to be a founder other than other founders. Like, I will complain to my
Exactly, yeah.
husband at the end of a long week, and he's like, whatever.
If you realize the definite echo chamber we're in when it comes to the 100 experiment and our social media, where when we're in a meeting with all our members, we have this like kind of like big like circle around us where we're talking about building businesses, impacting innovation, and like what we're going to do with AI and everything like that. And then you go out in the real world and then you try to have that same conversation. It's not going to go the same way. Oh, it's insane.
No one at Thanksgiving knows what I do. I totally
Yeah.
get it. That's funny. Well, you have an empire to build, so I'm going to let you folks go. But for whatever it means to you, you have somebody in Southern California rooting for your experiment.
Awesome.
And I am everybody's hype friend, okay? So
We appreciate it, Summer. We
sure.
really do.
I'm going to link Quant Community in the show notes. Subscribe and follow and watch their journey. And so that you don't miss bonus episodes like this, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And for those of you listening in the gym or the car, I appreciate you too. And I will see you all next week.